So we've had a look at the basic ellipse and rectangular selection. Now let's have a look at something a bit more freeform. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the Lasso Select. Now this is a great little tool. We'll be using it in conjunction more than on its own, so we'll be using it with other tools. And if you have a look, I can just draw on this mushroom an area, and when I let go of the mouse, it joins up with the start and turns it into a selection. So I could, in theory, draw around the outside of something like this kiwi fruit and select it, but it gets a little bit difficult. Now, one way you can help with this is up here you've got controls to change the selection mode. So here this means whatever you select replaces the current selection. This one says unite, so actually I can add a bit more and I can add a bit more, and as you can see I'm just adding into the selection bit by bit. I've gone a bit outside here, so actually I can choose the subtract and I can actually take away bits of selection. So you quite quickly end up with what you want selected. I'm just going to add a little bit here, and it's quite effective. Again, you can copy and paste that, not a problem, and it will put it on a new layer and you can move it into position. As well as that, we're going to have a look at the magnetic lasso. The polygonal lasso allows you to select by clicking points like so, and allows you to select something with straight edges. When you come back to the beginning, it does that as a selection. It's probably not that useful in this task, but it is where you've got more angular shapes. The magnetic lasso is really cool. So we're going to do this on this piece here. So if I click here, and all I do is follow the shape round, like so, and click back where I started. And you can see it's perfectly selected the shape for me. This one can be a little bit tricky to use on mobile because selecting the start point is harder. Again, we can copy and paste. Now, I would suggest you could use this as one of the ears, in which case, as well as doing copy, nice, copy merged again, there we are, and then paste, and you can see I've got my ear here. It's not quite right, so I'm going to use this move tool, and I'm going to move it over here, and then I'm going to turn on the transform controls. Now, if you hover over one of these boxes, it will allow you to change the size. If you hover just outside of the box, it changes like this, so you can actually rotate it. So you just hover outside and it rotates. And you can also move. So I fancy quite sort of cheeky little ears, so they're going to go on here like that. Now, if I then duplicate that layer to get another one, so just right click, duplicate layer, and move this across, you can actually grab on the right hand side of this and move it over to the left, and all of a sudden you've got the flipped image for the other ear. And that works really rather nicely. So what we've had a look at very quickly is we've had a look at the Lasso Select, quick look at the polygonal Lasso Select, we won't use that much in this task, and then looked at the magnetic lasso. We've also then had a look at rotating and resizing using the transform controls in the move tool. So we can resize and we can rotate.